How will you give teachers more flexibility to teach more than just test preparation?
This is my favorite question. What is your name?
Samantha.
Samantha, thank you. Okay. I am not a fan of standardized curriculum. I am not a fan of standardized education. Standardization works well, I think, when we're building automobiles and we all drive the same car, going the same direction at the same speed. Perhaps it's safe like that, yes? But there is no scholar of any age who thinks the same way at the same time at the same rate. Standardization does not prepare our students for college, and it does not prepare our students for career. As we have seen in the last week, 3 reports that put Texas last in our standards, in our college readiness, and in our career readiness. We need to move away from standardized tests and move back to holistic teaching. What students need is what they should get on an individual basis. And who better to do that than the teachers who are in the classroom working with students every day?
Thank you.
Ms. Perez, what methods will be used to prepare students for completing college?
College or high school?
College.
Methods from public education?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Right now, we currently have early college high schools, we currently have dual credit classrooms, etc., etc. And I think all of these are fabulous, but it's serving a small population. We have enough funds in our permanent school fund to serve all of our students. Number one, we are not preparing our students for college. How do we know this? Because when we look at kids who are going through placement testing, particularly through EPCC, we see that 66% of them are taking reading and writing remedial courses, while 88% of them are taking math remedial courses, which causes 2 problems. You run out of time and you run out of financial aid. Only 13 of 100 are completing an undergrad program. We need smaller classes. We need to reduce our teacher shortage tremendously. With those 2 things, our kids will be far better prepared. I think you can speak to any teacher, and a teacher myself. When our class sizes are too big, our students don't get the attention that they need. They're not leaving the classroom prepared. We need to put our funds back in our schools.
We have an audience question for you.
Sure.
Roughly 90% of your opponent's contributions come from a Republican PAC that wants to reform education. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay. How much time do I have for this? All right. Number one, if you're a Republican, have the audacity to run on a Republican ballot. Number one. Number two, education reform is a nice code word for private education, privatizing education, and that leads to taking money out of your pocket, your taxes, which are now sitting in the permanent school fund that are not being used, where we have a tremendous deficit with teachers, with a shortage of over 30,000 teachers, and we have cut how many programs? And since the $5.4 billion cut, we've had a population explosion. So we're looking now at a $20 billion deficit, right? So when you take money from a Republican PAC that says education reform, does that sound like more teachers, smaller class sizes, better instructional materials, better textbooks? And if it does, then for who? Because it's definitely not for Democrats, it's definitely not for me, it doesn't speak to my students, and it doesn't speak to your kids. It's not for our community.
What would you do to ensure that students receive a more diverse, multicultural education, or that we should include more science-based methods?
I'm going to take the more diverse, culturally responsive and reflective education. I've been to the State Board of Education at least 20 times, and I have advocated for more culturally and historically relevant curriculum for our students in our 40 counties. Even though it was and still is, a majority Republican with a very heavy-handed Tea Party influence, I walked away with a 12-2 vote. That gave all campuses, all teachers, the ability, the authority to bring in Mexican American studies, African American studies, Native American studies, Asian American studies, gender studies, all kinds of things. And the Republicans supported it. Why? Because it is the one proven curriculum and pedagogy that closes the achievement gap. And while it sounds fabulous for educators and possibly scholars to study these particular subjects and particular curriculums, there's an economic advantage to that. The more students that graduate from high school, the more money that goes into the economy. The more students that are college ready, the higher the academic achievement is in our community. And that is good for everybody.
Goes out for 1 minute.
Okay. Well, again, my name is Georgina Perez. I'm running for State Board of Education, District 1. Early voting is 16th through 26th February. Election day is 1 March. I would appreciate your support, and together, as a community, we can change education.